Do you see the harm in having like grown men wearing dresses around children? It's basically the same. It's the same thing ultimately.
Like, you're talking about drag, or you're talking about like what are we talking about here?
Yeah, talking about drag or any type of just like a dude walking around in a dress in public, and just like hey kids, I'm a man, but I'm wearing a dress and acting like Queen Elsa or whatever it is, right?
I don't think
Do you
people
think
should
that's
be
problematic or
yeah.
not? Do you think it's
Well,
problematic?
how you've explained that, you've explained like somebody random in the street in a dress going up to children. I think that's very unnerving. I don't think you
I
need
mean,
to
I'm
talk
not
to
saying
children and
necessarily
stuff
going
like
up to
that.
them, but just like walking around in public so that the children can all see that there's a grown man wearing a dress, or even just dressing like a little girl. Like they actually try to look like a little girl. You know what I mean? They wear these certain type of
Yeah,
thing.
I find that uncomfortable. I find that uncomfortable. I don't think like dressing up as a child or a
But let's think
baby
about it.
as an adult is appropriate.
Well, I mean, not necessarily as a baby, but just like a grown man dressed up like a little girl or whatever, and they're walking around in public, or even just dressed up in a
Look,
dress.
men wear dresses.
Do you think it's
Men can wear
problematic or not?
dresses, man. Are you talking about like what are we talking about? Are we talking about like
I'm just gonna
men
keep it
just wearing a
simple.
dress,
Yes,
or
yes.
what?
Just let's just keep it like
A man in a dress. Well,
simple,
that's
simple. A man in a dress in public. Yeah,
yeah. Men wear dresses. Men can wear
in public.
dresses.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, they can, but do you see the problem with it? You see how it's problematic when children are seeing that?
Oh, I was gonna say though, like it would make me uncomfortable, but
Let's
what are we
explore
gonna
why.
do then? Are we gonna legislate this and say that men can't wear dresses then? And then, there are people that consider trans women like they just see us as another man.
We've never had
Would
to
that
legislate it. I don't think we should have to legislate it.
Are
I
you
do
okay with
think that
kilts?
there should be the social. No, because in the culture of kilts, then that's what the dudes are wearing. I'm not against Afghans either, right?
And they don't just wear kilts every single day.
Yes, they do. Oh, have you been to Scotland, girl? You got to go to Scotland. They absolutely do. They absolutely do wear kilts frequently.
No, but this is different than the point I'm trying to make though, because I'm not trying to say, oh, it's the actual garment itself and the way
I
that
don't see a
it's
problem with
made.
men wearing dresses at all. It's, it is what people wear whatever they want to wear.
Okay,
I
it's
think
around in the
it's the way
presence of
you-
children. In the presence of children, if they want to go out to some
As
sort
long
of
as they're
adult
fully
only
clothed,
venue,
as long as they're fully clothed and their bits aren't hanging out, then absolutely,
right?
it's fine.
So no, in the presence of children, this is where I have a problem with it, right? Because the children are looking at these grown adults, and he's a man, he's wearing a dress.
The Pope wears a dress.
No, that's not a dress. That's a robe. You know what I mean? It's not a dress. I'm talking about like a dress with straps or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like clearly a garment that is intended for a woman, but a man is going to wear it in public, and the impact that it's going to have on the children. That's kind of what I'm talking about.
You wonder why
Right.
men don't
my
exist
thing is like you could just explain to the child like that's just what they do, and I don't know, like where are you trying to go at with Manimal? Like I'm confused.
Well, I'm saying like the impact that it has on children is negative because ultimately they're showing to the children, oh, this grown man is wearing a dress. He's basically like in a subconscious way. I'm not saying anyone is consciously making these, realizations, but and when a child sees a grown man wearing a dress, basically they're getting the idea that like they can like live in this kind of fantasy world themselves as adults, and that's what the adult world is about. It's like
What do
kind of
you
living
mean?
in a
What-
fantasy,
What kind of fantasy? The man's wearing a dress. Move on. Like,
right? Why is he wearing a dress? He's
I don't-
basically avoiding
do you have to go
responsibility.
into that? Like,
He's
do you
avoiding
have to go into
responsibility.
that?
Yeah.
what do you
No,
mean he's
look,
avoiding responsibility? He just wants to wear a dress.
right. Why is he wearing a dress? Why?
Because he wants to. He
So-
fancies wearing a
wait,
dress.
wait,
As
but
long as
you-
he's
Fancies.
covered, right?
Okay,
As long as he's
so
covered.
there you go. If he fancies wearing a dress, then there's some sort of like AGP type of thing going on.
No,
And
there
he's doing it in
isn't. You
public.
don't know
Yes,
that,
and he's
Manimal.
doing.
Yeah, but-
Well, then why is he doing it?
No, that's a leap. There's people
Why
that
did
wear
you-
different garments that
Hold on.
appear like a
Wait,
dress.
you're
right?
the one who just said why he's wearing a dress, and it's because he fancies it. That's
Well,
AGP.
when I say that,
Why is he doing it in
wants to-
public?
I don't mean fancies himself in the dress. It's English. I'm using like colloquialism.
Okay.
He wanted to wear a dress that day.
Yeah, why?
Ask him.
Because
Yeah, so
he
why
fancies
does a
it. He
grown
wants to
man
do it in
want to
public.
be? Yeah, why does a grown man want to be like associated with grown women in the way that he is presented?
I just think it's an item of clothing, and as long as
Yeah.
he's not exposing himself to people and children, then there's no problem. Like, it could be a bad fashion choice, it could be a good fashion choice. I don't quite understand.
Wait. Okay, so there's garments that are for men and garments that are for women, typically in societies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Manimal is asking, in a society where we understand that there are garments for men and garments for women, why would a man like purposefully wear the garments for women? Because the garments for women are typically designed as a result of the different body shapes that they have versus men, right?
I wear men's clothing.
I'm sure you
not
do.
women's
I'm sure
clothing.
you do. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. You can do that. The point is that Manimal's asking, why would a man want to be perceived as a woman, or want to be presented,
Oh.
or want to
He
present
might not
as
want to be.
a woman?
Are you talking about trans women, or are you talking about drag queens, or are you just talking about a man?
We don't look.
Yeah.
You've complicated it. Any man who is wearing feminine or female attire in public
So this is my question.
They're
then.
trying to provoke something, aren't they?
No,
Just
that not
really quick,
necessarily.
wait,
Go ahead,
wait.
Ashlyn.
I was gonna say, like, if we're gonna use this energy towards men dressing effeminately, we need to have the same energy for women dressing like men. Then, because
No, we
I
don't. No, we
why
don't.
not?
Because it's not the same.
I think that's a bit.
No, because men dressing effeminately is embracing a vulnerability that they don't need to do. When women are just dressing masculine or whatever, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Why can't
Look,
they be vulnerable?
because it's not that they can't be, but when they're embracing a vulnerability that they don't even have, that's problematic. And here's the thing. Like, children should be looking at adults and seeing adults, right? Right? They should be seeing people who are taking responsibility, right? Men and women taking responsibility. I don't necessarily think women should be out here like, just, you know, dressing all sorts of certain type of way either, right? There's certain like dress decorum, right, that people should like expect from themselves in some sense, right?
Well, I don't
When
know.
a man is
How do
embracing,
you
hold on.
mandate
When
that?
a man
How do you
is,
mandate that?
how do you
Sorry,
mandate
how do you mandate that?
I'm not talking about like making laws. I'm talking about socially just making everyone kind of on aware that
So
doing
you're
this type of stuff
gonna
around children. No,
Well, okay, we're
no,
taking little
no.
jumps.
We've
here
never
all over the
needed,
shop,
look,
like
look,
saying
look,
they're vulnerable.
we've never
saying about
needed to
children,
create
like,
laws to like ban dudes wearing dresses in public. All we have to do is just make it clear that shit is weird.
I was
like,
dressed as a
not
child
accept it.
bride. Hold on. I was dressed as a child bride with a veil and a white dress for my first Holy Communion. Like, that's pretty messed up. Don't you agree?
It seems weird. You were dressed as a child bride. When?
Exactly. That's weird.
That is weird. Yeah, I'm agreeing
Yeah,
with you. I don't
that's
think that we should be like putting little kids in beauty contests and stuff like that.
Right. Beauty pageants and whatever.
Yeah, it's
But
not
look,
okay.
because the thing is, like Jude, I also think it's different. Where would you agree that there's sex-based oppression, Jude?
Absolutely.
Okay, so do you agree primarily that most of the sex-based oppression is from male to female?
So, sorry, can you just repeat that again?
Yeah, would you agree that most sex-based oppression is done by the males onto the females?
Yes, throughout history and time, yes, I completely agree with that, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. And this is across all cultures, right? Like we know this, right?
Absolutely.
So
I agree with you.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So like I feel like when a man or a male is and one of the ways that males, especially humans, I'm just going to say men for this for the purposes of conversation, they objectify women, and they often reduce them to their sexual parts, right? And so if a man now wears the garments associated with the female, I almost feel like that is the oppressor kind of characterizing the oppressed, right? Like I can wear this dress and like no one can stop me, even if women were uncomfortable with it, even if children were uncomfortable with it, that man, no woman could stop that man. And so it's effectively taking something that is a woman's, that's maybe there to protect a woman or to represent a woman, and a man to just simply be able to wear it because no one can stop him, right?
I don't see the plight of women in clothing. Like when the feminists used to burn their bras.
Clothing has been used to either protect or oppress women and or sexualize women throughout history. So either forcing women to wear specific clothing to oppress them, or women being forced to adopt specific clothing to protect themselves, or women being forced into specific clothing to sexualize them. So like it is important.
So
May I
just have
ask
a
what the
question.
protective clothing?
I
What's
just
the
want to ask a
protective
question
clothing?
really quick. So not only are we wanting all males out of all women's spaces, now we're going to say that men cannot wear feminine clothing. Like we're just going to take up all are we going to say they can't wear makeup too next or what?
What
I'm
do you
sorry,
mean? Like, I
that
don't,
should be in women's spaces. I don't know what you're trying to.
Well,
get
no,
there
I'm
with
not saying all the people here on the panel, but that's the movement that's going on.
well,
And
okay. Well, I mean,
because this is
if
a
you want me to
position
draw
that
a
they
line
can't
in the
even wear
sand, yeah,
women's
sure.
clothing.
Yeah, sure. If you want to draw a line in the sand, I'm going to say that things like making the argument. Sorry, everyone, I've got a chest infection. Making the argument that men can be The other day, it was said to me that men who perform drag are the height of femininity, right?
Who's
And so,
that?
if a lot of people, like it was actually a prominent LGBTQ odd commentator on this app. So if a man caricaturizing a woman is the height of femininity, and it's that kind of stuff that led us here, cool. I'll be that Stone Age dude and say, yeah, we separate everything. But the point is, men do not have any entitlement to female spaces. Okay, the caricatures of women done by men, I think, is oppressive. If men want to wear makeup, they can wear makeup, right? But then they just are feminine men. I think I'll tell you what I'll come to a midpoint with you, Ashley. I think men should have done a better job in accepting feminine men into like the society of men and supporting them in some way, shape, or form, right? And not convincing them that they are women. But not all behaviors should be rewarded or celebrated, is the way that I look at it. So it depends on how far it needs to go, is my answer.
Well, at some point it becomes a fetish, right? A dude's gonna be walking around. He's trying to provoke people. He's wearing a dress. He's like, "How far can
You're
I take
making it a
this?"
fetish, Manimal, but you're making a fetish. Like,
He's doing a fetish in
a thing.
public.
AGP is a thing.
Yes, and he wants to like look. It's going to start at home. He's going to start wearing like
How do you
underwear.
know what
Maybe
he wants so
well, no,
well?
wait. Just think about it. He's going to start wearing women's underwear or something. Maybe like no one can see like what he's got on underneath or whatever. And then it's going to like gradually he's going to try to like start exposing it to the public more and more and be like, oh, I'm going to try to get away with this today. I'm going to wear this thing and this thing, and then full blown just wearing a dress.
With all due respect, Manimal, we
he's
don't
trying to
accept
provoke people,
people like
and
that.
children
We're
are.
trying to do that to children. We don't accept that in our society, and it's
Wait,
deplorable.
but children are in the public. Children are in.
Yeah, but
Children
you're
can
saying,
see them.
You're saying you're jumping
walking
from a
around in
man.
public.
Look, hold on, Animal. You're jumping from a man in a dress, choosing to wear a dress as long as they're covered and their bottom half isn't, they're out in public minding their own business, to somebody who's like exposing themselves to children.
No, I didn't mean exposing themselves. I'm just saying like the fact that it starts out with them, wearing maybe certain types of clothes in the privacy of their own home. Maybe they just want to wear the underwear or something so no one can see. And then all of a sudden it becomes more about like, ooh, I'm going to try to see if I can pull this off in public, right? And so
Well,
ultimately,
obviously
they're taking their fetish, which started out at home, out into the public world, and everyone's just going to be like, "Oh well, it's okay." It makes me feel a little awkward, but it's okay, right? And all the children are going to be looking at it, thinking, "Oh, what is going on over here?" They look at the other adults, saying, "Oh, all the adults are okay with it, so maybe this is actually totally normal for a grown adult, a grown man, to be walking around in a dress, publicly displaying his fetish."
Why are you equating somebody wearing a dress to a fetish? That's my question.
Why?
Okay, what other reason? What other reason is a man to be wearing a dress?
Right?
Yes, what other reason does a man have
Maybe he
to
likes the
wear
clothing.
women's
I
clothing?
like pants,
That's
like
my
men's
point.
pants because they've got pockets. I like
No,
jackets
that's my
that are men's
point.
jackets with pockets.
No.
Make
Okay,
it be
no.
better.
There is utility to wearing pants just in general. Yes, the pockets. Perfect. Yes. What is the utility of a man wearing a dress? There's no pockets on a dress.
There's no
Why is he doing
pockets on
it?
that, right?
Why is he reverting
maybe
to
he
the
likes-
clothes with less utility to them?
I think you're putting too much on
Just
an item of
try to
clothing.
answer the question. No, because like you're saying, it's because he likes it. He likes it. He likes it. I'm asking you, why does he like it? Let's explore just a little bit.
You have
Why
to
would a
ask
man like to
him,
wear a
Animal.
dress? Okay, what do you think we would
Maybe
find
he
out?
just likes wearing a dress.
That's my
It makes him
point.
feel. It makes him feel good, right?
That's my point. He likes wearing a dress, right? Why do you think he likes wearing a dress? Let's just think about it. There's not going to be many reasons why he likes wearing a dress.
I just have a question. Like, I know you guys kind of disputed it earlier and like saying it's not comparable, but why are there not women that just want to wear more masculine clothing or men's clothing just for the sake of wearing men's clothing because they feel more comfortable in it? Like, why are we just focusing on men dressing effeminately?
Yeah, but I gave you my reasons.
Well, yeah, and it's just because, like, when a woman is just dressing more comfortably, right, wearing quote unquote man's clothing, she's basically just being gender nonconforming in some sense. She just wants to, like, not have to put on the whole costume that is kind of imposed upon women. Men don't have a costume that they need to wear. Men can go out as lazily looking as possible, and they're still gonna be like, oh yeah, typical bro, typical man. So when a woman does that, yes, exactly. Good. Yes, women can do that too. That's why I'm not going to be like holding women to the same standard, or like this same type of thing is that I'm saying men should not perform femininity. I don't care if women are rejecting like the gender that's imposed upon, or like the fashion that's imposed upon them, because it's an actual like chore to achieve that standard. Men don't have. It's not a chore for men to be whatever, like lazy. And like,
But that's what I'm saying.
Putting on a
Like,
t-shirt.
men are just trying to go against the gender, like stereotypes that are imposed on them. Like, why can't they do the same?
Because the same thing is it's like basically they're putting on a costume, right? They're using the tool, one of the tools of oppression that's put on women as a costume. So it's kind of offensive.
So
I
what is
don't.
the
A dress
difference?
They can just choose to wear
isn't a tool of oppression. A dress isn't a tool of oppression. People
In
can wear
some
dresses all over.
sense.
Wait,
Well,
I also
sure, but in
we
some
went
sense,
through this,
yeah.
Jude. We went through this. I told you women were either forced to wear certain clothes to protect themselves, they were forced to wear certain clothes to oppress them, or they're put in clothes to sexualize them, right? So we know the difference between a bikini and a burqa, right? It's not like as though we don't know the difference. We would say that they're both items of clothing but they're for different reasons and whatever. I get it. The bikini isn't inherently sexual or whatever. But in contrast to each other and how men view those things, they are right. So
It
women's
sounds like
clothing,
men are doing a bad job there.
right? Exactly. Men, correct. Men are doing these things to women. So this isn't something that should be lackadaisical or no. Just because a man wants to do it, he should be able to. That's not how it works.
I just
Either the
think
women have come up with the clothing that is comfortable, suitable for them, right? It's not for a man to then appropriate. And two, Jude, we have no idea how to tell the difference between someone who is AGP or and wearing the clothing and someone who isn't and wearing the clothing. The reasons they would give are the same. I like it. It makes me feel good, right?
So I have a like I'm just trying to understand though. So I would agree though. I feel like some people dress just to, not anything extravagant or to gain attention and just go out into society, like go to the store or whatever. So I think what it sounds like is the issue is they're trying to bring this attention to themselves when they dress this way. Is that the concern?
I mean, there's loads of different things, right? There's loads of different things. It depends. Like it could be fetishized. It could be what you said there. Maybe it is some kind of quote unquote like protest against it. But either which way, like it's still problematic. Like going in public where children are as a male, a man, and trying to present yourself as a woman is problematic, right? There would have to be some really good reasons for that to occur, not just because I like it.
But why? Why is that? Like,
Because we don't know the difference between AGP and someone who is wearing it as a fashion statement. We have no idea.
I was going to say though, what would be a good reason for you then, Manaforged?
For what? Sorry.
Well, no, you were saying like, your concern is they do it just because it feels good, and then you're questioning like, well, why does it feel good? But
I don't have any good reasons. I don't have any good reasons as to why men need to present as women. I have no good reasons.
There's a band I listen to called Manskin, and the lead singer is a straight guy, right? And he wears dresses, so it's like.
Okay. How do you know? How do you know he's AGP or not? How do you know?
No, I said he's straight.
No, you can be straight and still be AGP. In fact, you probably would have to be straight.
Well, maybe you could ask him. The band's called Manskin.
I don't know him. I'm just saying that any man who enjoys himself being presented as a woman, I have no idea how to distinguish between him and an AGP.
Well, that's what I guess my concern is then, is everyone just going to be labeled AGP until proven otherwise?
Well,
Okay,
no,
and,
go on, sorry, go on.
Sorry, just for clarification for anybody in the chat that is unfamiliar, AGP refers to autogynephilia. Autogynephilia is defined as a male's propensity to be sexually aroused by the thought of himself as a female. All right, please continue.
But Manskin are a very good band, and yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, maybe. And we've seen historically that, people who, are pop icons or fashion icons or whatever the case may be, they often do push gender boundaries, right? And sometimes they're taken well, sometimes they're not. But the point is that I'm not convinced that we can distinguish between them currently. And I haven't heard any good reasons as to why we should have men present themselves in the same way that women do. I just don't have any good reasons.
What about like in a trans woman's case where she presents as a woman, she looks like a woman? Would that not be okay for her to wear like women's clothing in your eyes?
Yeah, so a trans woman is trying to like blend in with the binary, right? So effectively that is a form of deception that is going on. So they are going to try to achieve that as best as possible. So I guess it makes sense then for that man to want to wear the dresses or whatever the case may be. But again, there's a condition there at the very least if you believe that they have to have gender dysphoria, not just some self-ID thing, right? So again, I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm just saying I don't have any real good ones. There's one that you've given me and I'm willing to explore it with you, but that's about it.
But I think like the whole premise of innocent until proven guilty, that's like guilty, just guilty. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like this. A feminine man does not need to wear dresses. A feminine man can be very feminine without wearing dresses.
But with all due respect, madam, that's not your say. That you don't have a say in that.
Well, no, I just
Yeah,
said.
you have an opinion. Sorry, my bad. You have an opinion on that. That's valid. You have
Wait,
an
hold
opinion.
on, but
You can't mandate that.
I'm not mandating anything. I'm saying that feminine men can be feminine without ever wearing any women's clothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree
I
with that.
think-
They could
I
be
think
feminine.
And so it's like, why do they need to adopt a woman's clothing? What's that all about? Why are they doing it in public? You know what I mean? Why would they do it? The only reason is to try to provoke people.
Animal? Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
I'm not talking about. I'm not trying to make. I'm not trying. We're not trying to make any kind of laws against it. We're just trying to say, like, socially, I'm trying to tell you
Are
why.
you saying though that men wear dresses are just sexualizing the dress? Is that what you're saying?
I think there's an AGP element going on. I think there could be the element of like trying to provoke other people, or even like influence children in some sort of weird way, right? And that's why I just
Okay,
feel like
hold
it's
on, hold on.
problematic. Just straight on its face. I don't really need to know why they're doing it, but I feel
That's
like if
a
they're doing it in
big claim,
public,
animal.
no, I
If
feel
you're
like if they're
having
doing
a
it,
reaction
if
to
they're doing
a
it in
dress.
public, if they're doing it in public, those are the reasons why I'm telling you that they're doing it. They're either trying to provoke people
How do you know
intentionally.
that, though, Madam? You can't say that. That's
I'm
hearsay.
yeah, I'm trying to give you the reasons. Someone asked me the question. I'm not just going to be like you and say, well, I don't know. So moving on, right? I'm trying to explain the reasoning that I think they're doing it. Right? If you want to give
Okay,
an
so-
alternate reason that is other than why I'm providing, then go ahead. I might be open to it.
Okay, so I mean, if
What
that's
reason
the
could there be?
reasoning, hold on. If that is indeed the reasoning for it, who's gatekeeping that, and who has the ability to gatekeep that?
Who's gatekeeping?
Exactly.
What? Who's? I kind of don't understand.
Well, if you're
I'm talking about like society at large.
Hold on. I stand a lot on the side of everything. A lot of things that you say, dude, I do. But
Okay,
self-expression is not something that I would be uncomfortable to actually sit there and say, yeah, I'm good with that. That you can't wear these things because, again, we're supposed to be living in a free world or a free nation.
I'm going to have to test your
Let me
logic
finish.
there.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. If you're going to gatekeep what people can wear, well, you're just advocating for communism.
Hold on.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay. Well, I know you hear what I'm saying because this is the only flashback that you'll actually hear that makes sense. If you're all for freedom and freedom of choice and freedom of expression of oneself, then you can't gatekeep what people can wear. Let them wear what they want to wear. I mean, you can't tell people they're guilty by association. You can't do that.
But Mark, hold on. I need to test your logic here. Okay.
Sure.
I know you're all about the freedom of expression. So am I, to an extent, right? Because nudity.
There is no extent.
Hold on. Okay, you're saying there is no extent. I'm going to
there
test
isn't.
that. I'm testing it. So
ahead.
public nudity is freedom is of expression. Should we?
That's
should we-
not a freedom of expression at all. That's
Why not?
freedom of expression because it has nothing to
Hold
do-
on. No, it does. The freedom of expression, the freedom to be
We
nude.
allow nudist speeches, animal.
There's laws
we-
against
do we
it,
allow
so
people to be nude in
there's laws
public?
against- no,
Hold
because there's
on,
laws
wait.
against-
I
there's laws
just have to
against
establish-
exposure, animal. There's laws
Okay.
against exposure.
Let him
have
How
the
can you
conversation with
get
animal.
arrested?
Sorry, let him have the conversation with
Mark said there is no line on freedom of expression, and then we literally just established a line in the next sentence around
No,
nudity.
we actually didn't. We actually
Okay,
didn't.
then there's no line. Okay, then you can be nude in public.
Is it appropriate? Is the question. That's the question at hand. So you're misreading what
Can you be
appropriation
nude
and
in
what.
public?
Yeah, can you be nude in public in set and designated areas? Absolutely, you can. Absolutely.
In what designated areas can you be nude?
There's many nude beaches out there. There's many nude colonies. Dude, are you kidding me? Every major city, every
public?
major province
Are those
has.
private?
Yes.
Big in
It's a
Europe.
public nude beach. What are you talking about, Manimal?
I mean, I don't know if it's public or if it's what we're talking about now is freedom of expression. Under your framework, what you were just trying to say is that the freedom of expression, then that person should be able to be nude wherever they are in public because you would be limiting their freedom otherwise.
No, it's
Are you limiting their freedom by telling them to put on clothes?
It's about being no, it's about appropriate. And yes, you know what? Technically,
Appropriate. That's what I'm talking about as well. I'm talking about
technically,
appropriate.
hey, Manimal, settle down.
I
Have
just
a
want it to be
conversation.
I want it to be. I want
Have
it
a conversation
I want to be
with-
understood before you
Okay.
rebut what I'm saying.
Well, I've listened to everything you said for the past half hour, brother. And I have. Okay, listen. First and foremost, I'm not here to just to disagree, just to have an argument. That's not what I'm here for. But what I'm hearing out of you is more of a sense of a communist kind of ideology. Of a, you better dress this way because it's unacceptable if you don't.
No,
And
that's
I
actually
do
not what I'm
stand
saying.
by that. Well, that is what you're ultimately. That's what you're saying. If you find it weird,
Nope.
hold on. If you find it weird, well, that's on you. If you find it weird.
Okay, so
I find
if
it
you
weird, that's on
find
you.
public nudity weird, that's on you.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
It's
that's what you're
subjective.
saying,
Well,
Mark.
It's
Mark, can I
subjective.
try one other
If
thing?
you find it weird that a man is walking around in a thong in the middle of the mall, that's on you.
But it's not illegal. It's not illegal.
I'm not.
They can go ahead and do
Okay.
that. That's what they do.
Just trying to
Then-
legislate.
If I may
Okay, you missed the
interject
point.
just
You
really
missed the
quick,
point.
please.
His freedom of,
I'm
his
saying no,
freedom of
Because
expression.
it
Okay.
makes you
So,
uncomfortable.
okay, yeah.
Doesn't make it
Good.
wrong.
Okay,
is what I'm
good.
saying.
Mark. He's wearing a thong. He's got one of these like schmildos stuck on his forehead. He's doing everything to the
Okay. Now
Is
you're
that-
talking about
No,
inappropriate.
you're right. It's not
Right.
illegal though, Mark. It's not
Manimal,
illegal.
you're trying to equate
I just wanna
legality
know-
of being nude in a public space with children to being able to wear a certain like ability of clothes, like wearing
But it's
clothes.
freedom of
and-
expression. It's
Okay,
freedom
so
of
if a
expression,
male-
right?
But that's not comparable.
Why
I just
not?
wanna interject,
If
please.
it's freedom of expression and you try to stop a man from
Okay, so
wearing
let me
a
ask you
thong
another-
with a
wait.
schmildo strapped to his forehead,
Wait, Mark, can I give him
then
a
that's
hypothetical then?
Sure, go
limiting
ahead.
his freedom of expression.
So, Manimal, how come a man can walk around in only shorts with his whole entire top exposed and most of his legs, but a woman has to wear a bathing suit that covers her midsection, like
Because
in
she has
between her
sexual
waist,
characteristics.
and her
Yeah, she has
chest?
sex characteristics. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was gonna say,
sex-based
because
depression.
So, like, if you're gonna base it on only a man,
Yeah.
but why can't women walk around with their top?
I've already said
in that
this.
sense?
Like,
Most
this is based on
stores-
the oppression.
And most stores actually no shoes, no shirt, no service. So
Okay, but with your
they
ideology,
actually do tell men to wear shirts.
That's for safety reasons.
They
and
actually
hygiene.
do tell to wear shirts, though.
That's for hygienic
my point.
reasons, Manimal. Come on, let's not misread that.
It's not about. Look, it's
It
also
actually
about. No, it's because the store literally says, "Put a shirt on, dude. We don't want to see you walking around without a shirt."
No,
So you just think-
it's for hygiene reasons. They don't want to see people sweating coming in or no shoes. They can cut themselves on the floor and then they're liable. I know exactly what that is. I used to own a store, so don't even go there with
Just
that.
really
I know
quick, I just want
Wearing
to
a
say
shirt.
something though, if I may, please. My only thing is I hear what you're saying, Manimal. I know that you and Manaforge feel strongly about this, but the only way you're going to be able to do something about it is if you legislate it. Are you willing to go that far?
No, I'm not trying to say that we should legislate it. I'm just trying to say that we should all recognize, because every single person up here was saying earlier, oh, it does feel a little weird when I see a dude wearing a dress in public. But
No,
then
I
what do?
agree with you
They
on that.
suppress that feeling, and they be like, I'm just going to be okay with it. And they're going to be like, oh, it's okay. And the kids are all going to be thinking, oh, everyone's okay with this. That's what I have a problem with. What we should do is recognize that it's a problem, and we should shame the person publicly, like we always have throughout the past, and say, hey, dude, that's really fucking weird that you're wearing a dress in the store. You're a full grown ass man. You know what I'm saying?
Manimal, but